A patch bay is a device that connects all of the gear in your studio. It enables you to change the signal flow among the devices in your studio without having to crawl behind all of your gear to unplug and replug cables. The top row on this patch bay are coming from microphones in the recording room, represented by the audio files we have loaded into VAS. They are connected directly to the channel line inputs. We call this type of connection a normal. It means a connection is made directly through the patch point without any manual connection of cables. Since we are going to want the microphone inputs to go directly into the mixer, we set it up as a normal to avoid having to make those connections every time we have a session. The 5 channels here are kick, snare, overheads left and right, and bass. If I hit play, you'll hear all 5 channels playing without having to patch anything. Using the patch bay, I could take the kick drum and have it come into channel 2 by connecting mic input of channel 1 to line input of channel 2. Now, if I solo channel 2, I will hear the kick drum instead of the snare. If I solo channel 1, I will hear nothing because I have interrupted the normal. To disconnect a patch in VAS, simply click on the patch point again while holding the Shift button. Now the kick on channel 1 can be heard again. A pair of patch bay jacks can be full normaled, half normaled, or denormaled. When a signal connection is interrupted with a patch cable and gets cut off from its destination, this is called a full normal. If the patch point is wired so that the signal still passes through the patch bay after it has been interrupted, it would be called a half-normaled patch point. This is useful to send a copy of a signal to another destination and allow the original signal to continue to its normal destination. Denormaled are when the upper and lower rows are not connected internally, such as the inputs and outputs of signal processors. Some patch bays include a group of patch points called a mult, which allows for a signal to be split into multiple copies with no degradation to the signal. We also have an insert send return for each channel, allowing us to break into the signal path before it passes through the channel fader. This is typically used to insert a compressor or EQ on individual channels. Each channel has a direct out, which is usually normaled to the multitrack inputs and allows for access to the signal before it goes to the multitrack. We have track bus outputs, which are the outputs for the subgroups. We have aux sends for sending multiple channels to destinations such as reverbs or delays, or to musicians to create a cue mix during recording. The effects returns allow us to bring signal back into the mixer from effects such as reverb and delays. It also gives us access to all the signal processors in the rack. Signal processors are not usually normaled since they are not always used on the same channel. However, you may see aux sends normaled to a headphone amp or reverbs since they are often the destination used for aux sends. As you can see, the patch bay plays an important role in the control of signal flow, offering convenient access to the connections in the studio and enables flexible signal routing options.